All right, talking about injuries and how we think that sometimes when we come in, it's a movement that might cause us injuries. You know, like if you're doing like 100 deadlifts or something like that, and then the 100th deadlift is what might cause us an injury. So let's talk about why that might not be and usually is not the case, okay? So, you know, on any given day in this scenario that I just talked about, your capacity is deadlifts, right? And so deadlifts is 100 of them. That was something that might have been the mark for you on that. And to say that the deadlifts was what caused the injury without thinking about all the other things that might have affected us is kind of like saying, yeah, I had a whole pizza for dinner, and then I went and had a milkshake and ended up getting sick. And saying that the milkshake is what made you sick. It's actually the pizza and everything before that made you sick. So let's kind of break that down and let's look at what that might be, okay? And it's something that we would call like a pre-existing load when you come into the gym, okay? So as we go throughout our day, there might be things that you already have that is something that we carry with us all the time. This is something like a herniated disc, maybe you rolled your ankle, maybe it's a past broken bone, but basically the bottom line is it would be like an anatomical defect. And for the most part, there's not much we can change about that. So you have that with you, okay? In addition to that, we also have what we might call your stress, your diet, and your sleep, okay? And how you handle and what you have for stress, diet, and sleep. You know, let's say you have a big presentation at work, or let's say you just kids are getting crazy and that causes you a lot of stress. At the same time, from a diet standpoint, that might be, you know, are your macros dialed in? Are you getting your whole foods, or is it something that we're getting a lot of trash in our body? So, you know, just on those two alone, that can make smaller or make bigger this box, your basically your ability to handle things, right? And as we go back to this capacity, think about this. As we go back to this capacity, anything above this, right? Anything above this, you have pain. That's no good, right? Problem. Anything below that capacity, 99, 98, 97, we've got no pain and there's no problems. So, you know, with that in mind, as we stack things up here, right? We might not get a full night of sleep. We might not get our 8 hours of sleep. So now that could raise or increase that load that we put on our bodies. In addition to that, you might also have some, you know, other tissue things, some other imbalances. You know, maybe your muscles are tighter and they need work or something like that. Maybe your left side and right side aren't balanced and we're doing you know, a bunch of these pulls, so the left leg or right leg don't work the same, and so that's going to affect you, right? This might be like your functional capacity of the day, right? That could include your flexibility, maybe mobility, items like that, that if we don't address them, could increase or decrease that box. Okay, now this is before we even walk in. Think about that. Now, right now, I commute to work. Okay, I commute to work. That's great. Then I actually get to work and go through that. No problem. I'm handling that. And then, you know, at the end of the day, I got my family obligations, right? Family. And I go to the gym afterwards, okay? And, you know, like today, we've got our strength and skill. And then we got our WOD. So, you know, as you just see this example, you're as we walk into the gym, we're already loaded. You're already loaded up here, right? And this is a pre-existing load. And these items up here are things that we want to have more of. We want to be able to expand on, okay? But what really happens is that we end up doing some thrusters, or in my earlier example, deadlifts, and end up feeling pain or end up getting hurt. And so we go talk to the doctor, and what does our doctor say? Don't do thrusters. Don't do deadlifts, okay? We can't have that as an option. So what we want to look at here is, what can we change about this? Now, as we look to the side, right, as we maybe expand this into a new day, this anatomical defect, this might always be with us, right? It might be always a rolled ankle. It might always be a bone or joint type of issue that is going to be the same. So this is going to stay the same. But how you handle your sleep, how you handle your stress and nutrition, right, your diet, that might be something that we, with coaching, with us guide you through, we can eliminate half of that load on your body. Same thing with our functional ability, our flexibility, our mobility, our imbalances day to day. We can change that too. Maybe we can cut that in half, okay? So now we still got to commute, right? We still got to commute. We still got to work, and we still got to have time for our family. But now what's happening here is now we've got time and we've got ability and load capacity for our strength and skill and our thrusters or deadlifts, right? And we're still out of pain. We're still in our capacity. And so that's something that I want you to consider, is that as we come in, as we feel these things, we need to understand what may or may be causing us this pain, if that we're above or below our capacity from a day-to-day basis. Remember, this always resets day to day. And so additionally, as we train, as we work with you one-on-one, what we could also do is we could also, goal here is raise this capacity. Raise this capacity up so you can do more of what you like without feeling pain or injury from day to day. So that's just something that I thought that you want to, think about each time before you come into class. Kind of know where you're at. Communicate that with your coaches and I. Thanks.